2018 at 7:06 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Malinowski, would you take roll, please?
Mr. Troxel,
Here.
Mr. Schmidt,
Here.
Mr. Conley,
Present.
Attorney Austin, Chief Patterson,
Present.
Deputy Chief David Meyer, not here, Police Chief Dennis Zagraki,
Here.
and Deputy Chief Gassior.
Here.
Then we have Mr. Hewitt,
Here.
Mr. Novosich,
Here.
Mr. Bolton,
Here.
Robin Teal, Janice Malinowski present.
Thank you. The Water Works Board consists of 3 members, so for the purpose of this meeting, we will exclude Councilman David DeYoung. Minutes of the July 11, 2018 public meeting. Pleasure of the board.
So moved, Mr. President. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Claims. Any additional claims?
No additional claims for the Water Board.
Thank you. Pleasure of the board.
So move on the claims, Mr. President. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 3-0. Reports from staff.
No reports.
Council members.
None.
We have no old business. We have one item under new business, Resolution 2018-3, a resolution to transfer funds within a category of appropriations. Mrs. Malinowski.
And this is for the Water O&M Operation and Maintenance Fund. We are transferring $90,000 from the 400 level to the 300 level.
Thank you. Pleasure of the board.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution 2018-3.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 3-0. Any business from the floor regarding waterworks? Any business from the floor? This meeting is adjourned.
Good evening. I'd like to call a redevelopment commission meeting for Wednesday, August 8th. First item is roll call. We'd add Mr. DeYoung back to our roll call for all 4 members for redevelopment. First item on the agenda is the minutes from July 11th public meeting.
So moved, Mr. President, as presented. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0 on the minutes. Claims, any additional claims, Mrs. Malinowski?
No additional claims for the redevelopment commission meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on claims. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Any reports on redevelopment, Mr. Volkman?
No reports on redevelopment.
Council members, redevelopment?
Nope.
No.
And we have no old business, we have no new business. And at this time, I'll take any comments from the floor on any redevelopment issues. Any comments from the floor on redevelopment? No comments on the floor. This meeting is adjourned. We'll move right into the utility board meeting.
Call to order the utility board meeting for Wednesday, August 8th. Let the record reflect the same members that are present here for the utility board that were here for the redevelopment. First item before us is minutes of the July 11, 2018 public meeting. Pleasure, utility board members.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and second, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, please saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved, 4-0. Any additional claims for utilities?
No additional claims.
Pleasure of claims for utilities by members.
Move to approve claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the claims? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, please saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries for claims 4-0. Any reports at this time from staff members regarding utilities?
No reports on utilities.
Council members, anything report on utilities?
Mr. President, I have one question for Mr. Hewitt. Jeff, is NIPSCO, are they on another large project, utility lines in the town of Schererville?
Yes, they are replacing primary power lines in the, basically the downtown area here. Gulfview subdivision, Country Hills, Oak Manor, right in this general area of town.
And those are all overhead lines?
No, those are the underground.
Underground lines.
They are also doing some overhead work in the area of US 30 and 41. And that is in conjunction with some underground directional boring as well.
Okay, and they always let you know where they're at all times, right?
Our crew works with them on a daily basis, just about.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
No other reports. There's no old business before us on utilities. We have no new business on utilities. Any business before regarding utility business in the town? Any utility board business? Utility board business. Hearing and seeing none, this meeting adjourned will go into the town council meeting. I'll call that to order at this point. Let the record reflect the same members on the utility board are present here for the town council meeting. First item of business is minutes of the July 11, 2018 public meeting. Pleasure of the council members.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved 4-0. Any additional claims for town council this time?
Yes, I do have one additional claim. It is for the Nick Foundation for $2,000 that would be paid out of our promotional fund per our town council president, Mr. Getzlaw.
This is a donation to the foundation.
Yes, they are having a gala, I believe, September 8th, and it would be to purchase a table. for the event.
This is something we've done annually.
Yes, it is. We've done this, I think, the past 3 or 4 years.
Very good. Before us, General, we have the claims and the additional that James Banowski has mentioned. Pleasure of the board on claims.
Move to approve claims.
We have a motion. Second. And a second. Any additional discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, simply saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Claims are approved 4-0.
Thank you.
Any reports at this time from staff members?
No reports.
Chiefs, anything to report from your departments? No? Think they're okay? Good to hear. Council members, anything at this time?
One comment, again, Mr. President, and Jeff can relay on this. Last meeting, as you know, we talked to Jeff about getting an updated striping list on some areas that we had got complaints about not seeing striping and arrows in different, some of our local streets, and Jeff has supplied a working list on that, so thank you for getting that ready for us, Jeff.
Mr. President, I do have one item, sorry. Wanted to thank our park superintendent, John Novosich. Great ribbon cutting event at Plum Creek Park. Thanks to our funds, we're able to install brand new playground equipment, part of the overall town capital improvement plan for our parks. So well done, thank you.
No other comments or reports from members? At this time, if there's any public comments regarding agenda items, now's the time to make those comments known. Any public comments regarding agenda items? Comments on agenda items? Seeing none or hearing none, we'll move forward to the next item under old business. We have ordinance number 1924. It's an ordinance annexing certain contiguous land to the town of Schererville, Lake County, Indiana, commonly referred to as 9201 West 77th Avenue, and all matters related thereto. This is the second reading. Petitioners are Amani Developments, Inc., and location again is 9201 West 77th Avenue. Mr. Volkman, anything to add on this?
This is right across from the Waterford development. It was part of the Seaburger Farm, and this brings that location into the town of Schererville.
Very good.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. Volkman, does that property, does that butt up against the same property that the church was wanting to put up? The church on the corner of 77th and Austin?
I'm not sure if it goes that far. It may go all the way up to that property, or that property may be larger than I envisioned it on that corner. But if it meets anywhere, it's going to be in the middle of that wetland there. It's 10 acres, so it could be.
Any other comments, discussion on this? Pleasure of the council members on this ordinance 1924.
Mr. President, move to approve on second reading ordinance number 1924. Adopt, rather.
We have a motion to adopt. Second. Hearing a second. Any additional discussion on this matter? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none. This ordinance is approved 4-0. Next item under new business, we have ordinance number 1927, which is an ordinance annexing certain contiguous land to the town of Schererville, Indiana, commonly referred to as Dolores Farm Parcel, and automatically thereto. This is on first reading. Petitioners, Stars and Stripes 4M LLC by DSS 4 Holding Company LLC. General location, Dolores Street Farm. Mr. Volkman, any additional explanation on this item?
This particular is a small parcel, I think it's between, isn't it 3.5 acres, Jim?
About 2.5.
2.5 acres. It was, if you remember back the original Altoff development, this was the first house and property of the Lures that they retained, so it stayed in county. The new development is proposed to put an entrance there to access the back part that they now have control over. And so this is the last of their annexations to bring it into the town of Schererville. So it's a small parcel, but it's an integral part of the overall development.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. Volkman, maybe Mr. Weezer might answer this since he represents, I noticed there's a different name on the petitioner from our previous holding for, is Stars and Stripes, is that
I would yield to Jim.
Yeah.
that's still the same company, same people?
It's still the same people. The problem, when we did the original annexations, the Lures family still owned the property that we annexed south of 101st, so it was under their name. When the closing occurred on the main parcel of the Lures farm, the company that acquired it is the Stars and Stripes, but they are an entity related to the overall entity. So it's the same folks.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you,
It's in
Mr.
writing here also. Jim documented that for us,
Okay.
for our files.
Very good.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I move to approve ordinance 1927. This is on first reading and stuff. On first reading.
There's been a motion.
Second.
And I'm hearing a second. Any further discussion on this parcel? An ordinance. Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, so saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carries 4-0, and then we'll have it on our next council meeting,
There'll be a public hearing,
the adoption.
there'll be a public hearing in September, a special publication on it, as you remember. So you'll have that fiscal plan to be considered and possibly adopted, and then adoption reading in 60 days.
Next item, item B, is resolution 2018-17. Is a resolution to transfer funds within a category of appropriations. Ms. Mel, I'll speak. Explain.
Yes, the general fund, the fire department, I see they have, from 100 level to 100 level, $1,400. And if it's the same level, we do not need a transfer resolution. However, this may be a typographical error. I'll have to check with my staff tomorrow. So let the record show that it could be from 142 level to either 2, 3, or 400 level for $1,400. The ambulance fund is transferring $25,000 from a 400 level to a 100 level. The cable TV fund is transferring $40,000 from a 300 level to a 100 level. And then from the cable TV fund to the promotion fund, we're transferring in from cable 100 level to promotion 324 level, $40,000.
One more.
Is there one more? I'm sorry. The MVH fund from a 400 level to a 200 level, $20,000. We don't want to leave Jeff's department off. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you very much for the explanation.
You're welcome.
Pleasure of the council members on resolution 2018-17.
Mr. President, move to approve resolution 2018-17.
Thank you.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved, 4-0. Next item is proclaim the month of September 8, 2018 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in town of Schererville. I have a proclamation here, I will read it. Bear with me. Whereas in the past 12 months, more than 26 Northwest Indiana children have been diagnosed with cancer, some for the second time. In the past year, 3 more Northwest Indiana children have lost their lives to cancer. And whereas childhood cancer remains the #1 disease-related killer of kids in the U.S. 1 in 5 children are terminal at diagnosis. 3 in 5 suffer life-altering impacts, treatment that significantly altered their quality of life. And 1 in 285 children will be diagnosed with cancer before the age of 20. And whereas childhood cancer is on the rise, childhood cancers and adult cancers are different. Yet we may continue to use the downsides of adult cancer protocols on kids with many times devastating effects. The lack of childhood cancer research has tremendous impact to kids and significant cost to society now and in the future. And whereas despite these facts, childhood cancer research is vastly and consistently underfunded. Less than 4% of the National Cancer Institute's budget is solely dedicated to childhood cancer research. In 25 years, the FDA has initially approved only 2 drugs for any childhood cancer, and half of all chemotherapies used for children's cancers are over 25 years old. And whereas the incidence of childhood cancer is on the rise with an estimated 16,000 children diagnosed every year, 43 per day in the United States alone. Of those 43 children per day, 8 will die in somewhere in the world, a child diagnosed every 2 minutes. And whereas the incidence of cancer among adolescents and young adults is increasingly a greater rate than any other age group, whereas except those over age 65 of age, an estimated 2,900 children die each year of cancer in the United States alone. The average age of death for a child with cancer is 8, causing a child to lose 69 years of expected life. And whereas many adult cancers can be diagnosed early, in 80% of kids, cancer is already spread to other areas of the body by the time it's diagnosed. And whereas the cause of most childhood cancers are unknown, and at the present, childhood cancers cannot be prevented, and families who are or have been in treatment work tirelessly to change these alarming statistics. Now therefore, I, Mike Trops, the Vice President, Town Council, Schererville, Indiana, we hereby proclaim the month of September 2018 to be Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in the town of Schererville. It is the 8th day of August 2018. Pleasure of the council to approve that proclamation.
Mr. President, move to approve.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next item, item D, is consider request for variance of use to allow a contractor's business and climate control storage and business office space within the US 30 Commercial Corridor Overlay District. This is BZA case number 18-7-15. Petitioner Ken Christensen, Earl's Heating and Cooling. Location 5050 West Lincoln Highway. This comes to us as a favorable recommendation 4-0 from the BZA. Mr. Volk, anything like that?
No, this is the location is right next to the U-Haul on 30 there on the north side of 30. And they're going to knock down the original house that was there, build a nice building. So it's going to be a nice improvement to that site.
Good. Very good.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Bob, again, where at?
You know where U-Haul is down right across from Pine Island? Right there at the entrance to Pine Island Drive. Was that little house that was a car lot before. Earl's Heating's been in there for quite a while. And then this is, they want to take down the house. They remodeled all of that. They're going to put up a 2-story building for offices there. and then build a climate-controlled area behind it.
Very good. Pleasure of the members. This is case 18-7-15.
Mr. President,
Yes.
in Bob, to approve this, that we would have to approve the findings of facts that's on that also,
Except the findings of facts.
except the findings of facts. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve with the findings of facts, and you'll find them on the back page of our certificate.
Very good. There's been a motion for approval on this, including the finding of facts. Is there a second? Second. Hearing a second. Any discussion on the matter? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, so saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carries 4-0. Next item, item E is award bid for Rohrman Park new concession stand and restroom facility. Mr. Volkman?
I will yield to Mr. Novosich on this.
Thank you. There's a total of 5 bids that were submitted. The bids were reviewed by the architect, Thomas Kuhn, with CSK Architects, and on behalf of the park board, I concur with his recommendation to award the contract to the integral construction for an amount of $260,032.
Okay, very good. As was mentioned, there were 5 bids that were presented, and the architects recommended the lowest bid to Integral Construction Inc. for the new concession and restroom facility at Rohrman Park. Pleasure of the council members to award this bid.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Novosich, is Integral Construction Incorporated a union company?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Is the awarding company Integral Construction Incorporated, are they a union company?
All their documentation in the bid comply with the ordinance and the requirements.
So do they use Indiana?
They have a subcontractor list that has, majority of the contractors were from Indiana.
Any other questions?
Move to approve.
There's been a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Hearing a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, so saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0 for the awarding of the bid to Integral. Next item is appoint of Southcom PSAP Executive Board members, 2 of them, with term ending December 31st, 2019. And this is a executive board with the Southcom PSAP, which was with us, and Cedar Lake. And this time we're appointing 2 members to that board. Recommendations and nominations for recommendations. Council members?
Mr. President, I'd recommend, with the history of yourself and Mr. Volkman being involved early on with the formation of Southcom, I would recommend and make the motion. The board members consist of Mr. Troxel and Mr. Volkman.
Very good. Any other nominees? Hearing none, someone to second that motion? Second. Second. All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Gladly served in that role there, representing our town. Thank you, Kevin, for that recognition. Item G is considered donation to the Canine Protecting Heroes Organization, $600. We received a recommendation here that came to us from the Chief of Police and our Deputy Chief Joseph Garosik regarding this recommending $600 donation be made. Pleasure of the council on this recommendation.
So moved, Mr. President. I was going to ask Chief Zagraki, this is, everything you said in your letter here, this is something that we've done in the past? Or is this something that's new?
No, this is something new. I'll pass it on to Deputy Chief Gasser, who oversees the Canine.
Thank you. Protecting Canine Heroes is a nonprofit organization that, through their own solicitation of donations and fundraisers, they in turn buy body armor and Narcan kits and first aid kits for law enforcement canines and then donate them back to the department. Currently, all 3 of our canine officers have these items: the vest, the Narcan kit with a case and a first aid kit. And that value of what they've donated to our department is over $3,000 at this point.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. President, I move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve in a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed? Motion carries. Next item is item H, consider acceptance of donations totaling $8,702.88. Mr. Manasseh, would you like to read them or?
Yes, I would. This is as of July 31st, 2018. It's lengthy, so bear with me. Donation fund, Schererville Park, Domino's Hocus Pocus Party in the Park, $40. Schererville Park, total $40. Donation fund, Park Summer Programs, Bill Collision Center, $100. Donation fund, Canine, Linda Hafner, $100. Michael J. Jaworski, $20. Pamela S. Jones, $40. Barry Stoners, $680.88. Total Canine, $840.88. Donation fund, National Night Out. Cesar Battisti, Lodge number 27, $100. Total Corporation, $100. Donna Brown Dancers, $100. Second Street Dance Studios, $50. Camelot 1 LLC, $75. Timber Masters, $100. DC Jones Engineering, $50. Sherwood Golf Concessions, $100. Macaulay Real Estate, $100. Walgreens, $50. Thomas W. Daniels and Company, $50. Martin Mechanical Group, $250. Drent's Highway Garage, $50. Midwest Pipe and Rebar Coating, $75. My Box, $50. Southland Excavation LLC, $100. Prism Painting Company, $100. Mackey Insurance, $75. Chef Mechanical Corp., $500. U Inc., $50. Mason Corporation, $375. Matillo and Crane Orthodontics, $200. Eckhart American Corporation, $2,000. Total donation for National Night Out, $2,900. Donation fund, fire equipment, Schererville Cult 980 LLC operating, $625. Albert Blair Family, $50. Total fire equipment, $675. Subtotal of monetary donations, $4,555.88. Page 2. Donated items, Hocus Pocus Party in the Park. Albany's Candy, 1,000 bags, valued at $1,000. Patty's All-American Gymnastics, 400 suckers with business cards, $50. Schererville Anytime Fitness, variety loose candy, $30. Schererville Dairy Queen, 10 bags of candy, $75. Premier Daycare, variety loose candy, $38. Modern Heating and Cooling, 2 bags of chocolate, $20. Dairy Bell, variety loose candy, $50. Child Zone 41, 6 bags Tootsie Rolls, $60. Caribbean Pools, 4 bags of candy, $40. Residents at Deer Creek, 9 bags of candy, $144. Tyler's Tender, Fruit Snacks and Twizzlers, $50. Ted's Pet and Feed, variety loose candy, $25. Chili's of Dyer, 500 free kids meal coupons, $2,500. Regionale, 4 bags of candy, $25. Designer Desserts, bags of candy, $40. Subtotal non-monetary donations for Hocus Pocus, $4,147. Grand total donations, $8,702.88. You can see it was a busy month.
Thank you for reading that, yes, and we do appreciate and generous donors to our different programs in our community. Pleasure of the council members on the second piece.
Could you read that again, Mrs. Mullins?
Second pass on that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 to accept the donations. Yes. At this time, we have the swearing-in ceremony of our fire chief. And you come up and see Janice, and Janice will do the honors.
Well, actually, I'm going, this gentleman here, you're going to place us because
last time it didn't work out so well. So where would you like
Right in
us?
front of that microphone, that would be wonderful.
Right here?
Yep, that'd be great.
Oh, here. Okie dokie. This is an honor. Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Robert Patterson,
I, Robert Patterson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the state of Indiana
and the state of Indiana
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
both foreign and domestic,
both foreign and domestic,
and I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as the fire chief
as the fire chief
of the fire department in the town of Schererville
of the fire department in the town of Schererville
under the appointment of the town council
under the appointment of the town council
to the laws of the state of Indiana
to the laws of the state of Indiana
to the best of my skills and abilities,
to the best of my skills and abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chief. I see you got a fan club out there.
I see that. 5 minutes, that's great.
Very nice.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. I look forward to a long career and finishing it here in the town of Schererville, so thank you.
Very good. At this time, looking for any business from the floor regarding council business that you want to come up and ask questions or talk about? Any business from the floor? Any business from the floor? We do have cake and coffee in the back room, and recognizing this swearing ceremony of Patterson, so welcome. You're all welcome to stay for that. And it's time,
And please.
And police.
And please.
And we swore in the police last month, but.
we'll celebrate them too again.
We didn't have
All
to.
good, all good. I'd also like to mention to everybody that we do have a Northwest Indiana Symphony in the park this weekend, this Saturday at 7:30.
Yes.
And it's free to everybody. Come out and enjoy some of the nice music we have in our community. And the Northwest Indiana Symphony was always a good organization to listen to.
And if I may, Mr. President, the doors open at 5:30, and I'd like to refer to Mr. Novosich and have him tell us his good news regarding this symphony this year. He's worked very hard with this.
One more item, you can bring a bottle of wine with you.
Oh, yeah, that's allowed.
Well, it was approved earlier this
Right.
year, you
Okay,
can bring
great.
adult beverages with you.
John?
Correct. Most importantly, we received a grant from the Indiana Arts Commission for $4,750. So part of this performance will be in part funded by the Indiana Arts Commission and the National Endowment for Arts.
Oh, excellent, very good, good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
With that being said, no more business, meeting's adjourned. Let's enjoy the evening.